Welcome, you've found your way here. The bookshop waits for you at the end of a narrow cobblestone street, where the evening has already begun to settle, soft and dim. You notice the lamplight spilling through the front window, amber and warm, calling you toward the door. There's nowhere else you need to be. This is your place, for these quiet hours, and you are safe here. Your hand finds the brass door handle, cool beneath your palm, and you turn it slowly, hearing the gentle click of the latch releasing. The door swings inward, and a small brass bell announces your arrival, a single soft chime that fades into the stillness. You step across the threshold, and the outside world falls away behind you. The scent arrives first, aged paper and leather, wood polish and dust, the smell of decades resting on shelves. It wraps around you like a familiar blanket, something you've known before, something that tells you, you are safe, you are welcome, you can rest here. Warm amber light fills the space, not harsh, not bright, but gentle, glowing from brass lamps scattered throughout the shop. The wooden floorboards creak softly beneath your feet as you move inside, each plank worn smooth by countless footsteps before yours. You close the door behind you, hearing it settle into its frame with a hushed sound, and the bell chimes once more, softer this time, fading. Everything here moves slowly. You stand for a moment, just breathing, letting the shop's quiet atmosphere seep into you. The ceiling stretches high above, crossed with dark wooden beams that disappear into shadow. Shelves line every wall, floor to ceiling, packed with books whose spines create a patchwork of deep colors, burgundy and forest green, navy and burnt amber, gold lettering catching the lamplight. On the counter before you rests the leather logbook, thick and heavy, its cover worn soft from years of handling. You reach for it, and notice the weight of it as you lift it into your hands, substantial, solid, grounding. The leather is warm, almost alive beneath your fingers, and you hold it there for a moment, feeling its weight, feeling how it anchors you, connects you to this place, to this moment. You are the keeper of the evening shift. You set the logbook down gently on the counter, and begin to remove your coat, slow movements, unhurried. The coat slides from your shoulders, and you drape it over the wooden hook by the door, feeling the weight leave your body, feeling lighter already. The shop settles around you, or perhaps you are settling into it, it's difficult to tell which. A grandfather clock stands in a corner, its pendulum swinging with a hushed rhythm, tick, tock, measuring time in a way that feels almost optional. The sound is soft, barely there, but constant, like a heartbeat. You move behind the counter where generations of bookshop keepers have stood, where the wood is worn smooth in the shape of countless palms and elbows. Your hands rest on this surface, feeling the grain beneath your fingertips, the gentle dips and valleys carved by time. It feels right, being here, in this position. Through the front window, you notice the daylight continuing to fade, the sky deepening from pale gray to something richer, something closer to violet. The street lamp outside flickers on, casting a dim glow on the wet cobblestones. Yes, it's been raining, you can see the dampness on the street, hear the faint patter beginning again, gentle drops tapping the glass. Inside, everything is warm. The radiator along the wall ticks softly, sending waves of tepid heat into the room, not hot, just warm enough, just comfortable. You can feel it from where you stand, a cocoon of warmth that makes the rain outside seem even more distant, even more like a lullaby. You open the logbook again, and the pages whisper as they turn, thick paper, cream-colored with age, lines ruled in faded ink. There's the last entry from the day keeper, neat handwriting noting the books sold, the customers who came, the quiet rhythm of the day. And now, the evening begins. You pick up the fountain pen that rests in its holder, feeling its weight in your hand, similar to the logbook, but different, smaller, more delicate. The pen fits perfectly in the curve of your fingers, as if it was made for this exact grip, for your hand alone. You write the date, the time, your name. Each stroke of the pen is slow, deliberate, the nib scratching softly against paper, a sound that fills the quiet, that adds to it rather than breaking it. The rain outside grows steadier. And you are here, behind the counter, in the warm amber light, surrounded by sleeping stories. The evening shift has begun, and everything is exactly as it should be. You are safe. You can rest here. There is nothing you need to do, except be present, in this gentle space, where time moves like honey, and every breath comes easier than the last. You remain behind the counter, where the wood has been worn smooth by all who came before you. Your palms rest flat against the surface, and you can feel the grain beneath your skin, running in long lines, gentle ridges and valleys carved by decades, maybe centuries, of hands just like yours. The wood is warm, absorbing heat from the radiator, from the lamps, from all the life that has moved through this space. You let your fingers trace one of these lines, following it slowly across the counter's length, feeling how it curves, how it dips, how it rises again. Such a small thing, this single line of grain, and yet you could spend minutes here, just following its path, discovering where it leads. To your right sits the brass cash register, an old mechanical beauty that has stood on this counter for longer than anyone can remember. Its surface catches the amber lamplight, reflecting it back in soft golden tones. You reach out and touch one of its keys, feeling the cool metal beneath your fingertip, smooth from countless transactions, from fingers pressing down, day after day, year after year. The key has a slight give to it, waiting to be pressed, waiting to ring its small bell and pop open the drawer, but you don't press it now, you simply rest your finger there, feeling the connection, the history. Each key is like this, round and slightly domed, with numbers embossed in an old-fashioned script, 1s and 5s and 10s. You run your hand along the top of the register, feeling where the brass has been polished so many times that it's begun to thin in places, revealing the darker metal beneath. These worn spots are like maps, showing where hands reached most often, where the touch of humanity has left its mark. Behind the register, a small cubby holds receipts and bookmarks, leather corners for protecting precious pages. You reach in and withdraw a bookmark, thin wood, sanded smooth, with a tassel of burgundy thread attached at one end. The wood is light in your fingers, almost weightless, and you hold it up to the lamplight, seeing how the grain shows through, how the tassel catches the amber glow. You set the bookmark down gently, and turn your attention to the stool behind the counter. It's tall, wooden, with a round leather seat that has molded itself over years to the shape of those who sat here. The leather is the color of chestnuts, deep brown, soft. You pull the stool closer, hearing the soft scrape of its legs against the floorboards, and settle yourself onto it. The leather gives beneath your weight, welcoming you, holding you. Your feet find the rungs below, worn smooth like everything else here, and you let yourself rest, truly rest, in this position. From here, you have a perfect view of the entire shop. The shelves stretching away into shadow, the aisles creating corridors of quiet, the lamp pools of light scattered like small suns. Everything visible, everything peaceful, everything exactly where it belongs. The rain outside has found its rhythm now, a steady patter against the front window, not heavy, not demanding, just present. You can see the drops sliding down the glass, catching the street lamp's glow, leaving trails that blur and merge. The sound is constant, soft, like static, like white noise, like the shop itself breathing. You lean forward slightly, elbows resting on the counter, and the wood is solid beneath your arms, supporting you, asking nothing, just being there, steady, reliable. Your hands come together, fingers interlacing loosely, and you feel the warmth of your own skin, the gentle pressure, the way your thumbs rest against each other. The grandfather clock continues its quiet ticking. The radiator sends its waves of warmth. The rain maintains its rhythm. And you, sitting here at the counter, become part of these sounds, part of this atmosphere, part of the shop's gentle evening heartbeat. There's a small drawer beneath the counter, and you pull it open slowly, hearing the soft glide of wood on wood. Inside, more bookmarks, a ball of twine, a pair of scissors with wooden handles, a magnifying glass with a brass frame. Simple tools, each one worn smooth by use, each one resting in its place, waiting. You touch the twine, feeling its rough texture, so different from the smooth wood and soft leather. Then the scissors, cool metal, warm wood, the contrast pleasant beneath your fingertips. Everything here has a texture, a temperature, a small story. And you have all evening to discover them. To sit here, behind this counter, in this warm amber light, listening to the rain, feeling the wood beneath your hands, becoming part of the bookshop's quiet rhythm. There is no hurry. There is only this. This gentle settling, this soft awareness, this perfect safety. The evening unfolds, slow as honey. And you are exactly where you need to be. You rise from the stool slowly, feeling your body unfold, and step away from the counter into the heart of the shop. The wooden floorboards creak softly beneath each step, a sound so familiar it's almost like greeting. Before you stretch the aisles, narrow corridors formed by shelves that rise from floor to ceiling, packed with books that have waited here, some for days, some for decades. You move toward the nearest shelf, and already you can feel the pull of them, these sleeping stories, these quiet worlds bound in leather and cloth. Your hand reaches out, almost by itself, and your fingertips brush against the spines, one after another, feeling the textures change. Here, smooth leather, cool and supple, the title embossed in gold that catches the lamplight. You let your fingers rest there for a moment, feeling the slight indentation of each letter, the craftsmanship of hands long gone. Next to it, rough cloth binding, forest green, the texture like canvas, like something meant to endure. Your palm slides across it, feeling the weave, the tiny bumps and valleys of the fabric. Then a spine of naked wood, unadorned, simple, the title written in faded ink directly on the boards. The wood is warm here, absorbing the ambient temperature of the shop, and slightly rough, as if it remembers being part of a tree, part of something living. You continue walking, hand trailing along the spines, a slow procession of touch, leather, cloth, paper, leather again. Each book a small world, each spine a doorway you could open, but you don't, not yet. For now, it's enough to feel them, to acknowledge their presence, to let them know someone is here, watching over them. The aisle narrows around you, shelves on both sides now, creating a corridor of books, a tunnel of stories. Above, the shelves reach toward the shadowed ceiling, and you can see more books up there, older ones, their spines faded by time and dust. Dust. You notice it now, dancing in the amber lamplight that filters through from the main room. Tiny particles suspended in the air, drifting without purpose, catching the glow and becoming visible for just a moment before disappearing again into shadow. The dust seems to move in slow motion, as if even it has learned the bookshop's pace, the way everything here resists hurry, resists urgency. You watch a single mote drift downward, spiraling gently, taking its time to fall, and you find your breathing has slowed to match its descent. Outside, the rain has grown steadier, more insistent, and you can hear it now even here in the depths of the shop, a constant soft percussion against the roof, against the windows somewhere behind you. But inside these aisles, you feel protected, cocooned, wrapped in paper and leather and wood. You reach a section where poetry lives, slim volumes pressed together, and you draw one from its place. The book slides out with a whisper, that particular sound of pages held tight together for years suddenly given air. It's bound in navy cloth, soft as velvet, and the pages inside are edged in gold. You open it slowly, and the spine creaks, a gentle complaint, a small awakening. The pages are thick, cream-colored, and they carry a scent that is both musty and sweet, old paper and old ink, time made tangible. Your finger traces down the edge of one page, feeling the deckled border, the slight roughness, the way it's thicker than modern paper, made to last, made to be touched. The words on the page blur slightly in the dim light, but you're not reading, not really, you're just present with this object, this book, this small piece of someone's heart made permanent. You close it gently, and return it to its place, hearing the soft sound as it settles back among its companions. Further down the aisle, a rolling ladder leans against the shelves, brass rails running along the top, polished by years of the ladder sliding back and forth. You place your hand on one of its rungs, feeling the wood there, worn in the center where countless hands and feet have gripped and climbed. The ladder could take you up, to the higher shelves, to the older books that rest in the dimmer light, but not now. Now you're content here, at ground level, where the lamplight reaches, where the warmth settles, where you can continue your slow wandering through these corridors of quiet. You are the keeper of these stories tonight. And they rest easy, knowing you are here. The rain outside continues its song, the dust continues its slow dance through lamplight, and you continue your gentle progress through the aisles, touching, feeling, being present with each book, each texture, each small detail that makes this place what it is. A sanctuary. A cocoon. A place where time forgets to hurry, and everything is exactly as it should be. In the back corner of the shop, you find the reading nook, waiting for you, as it always does. A velvet chair sits there, the color of deep wine, or perhaps darker still, the color of shadows when lamplight touches them, warm and heavy. You move toward it slowly, feeling the slight change in the air, cooler here, away from the front windows, but not cold, never cold, just different, softer somehow. Your hand reaches out, fingers finding the chair's curved arm, and the velvet meets your skin like something alive, textured and soft, with a gentle nap that shifts direction when you stroke it, darker one way, lighter the other, a quiet magic in the fabric. You let your palm rest there, feeling the coolness of the material, which begins, so slowly, to warm under your touch, absorbing your heat, becoming part of you, or you becoming part of it. The chair waits, patient and solid, its back rising high, wings on either side to cradle and hold, to keep the world at a distance, to create a smaller world within the world. You notice the cushion, thick and soft, slightly compressed where others have sat before, where you have sat before, the velvet worn smoother there, softer still, holding the memory of rest. Your fingers press gently into the seat cushion, and it yields, accepting the pressure, then slowly, so slowly, returning to its shape when you lift your hand away, breathing, the chair itself breathing. On the chair's arm, draped and waiting, you find a wool blanket. The texture catches your attention, and you lift it, feeling its weight, substantial but not heavy, the wool thick and soft, woven tight, keeping warmth close. You unfold it slightly, just to feel how it moves, the fabric releasing a scent of lavender, faint and clean. Someone stored it with sachets, protecting it, keeping it fresh and safe. The blanket's color is difficult to name in this light, something between cream and gray, the color of morning fog, the color of rest itself. You arrange it carefully over the chair's arm, where you can reach it easily, where it waits to cover and warm, to settle over tired shoulders, to press gently down. Beside the chair, a small table stands, round and wooden, its surface smooth from years of teacups and book spines, worn soft by touch and time. On this table, a brass lamp, small and elegant, its base solid and cool when you brush against it, its shade made of amber glass. You find the switch, a tiny knob that turns with the softest click, and light blooms, warm and golden, filling the amber shade, glowing from within. The light it casts is perfect, neither too bright nor too dim, just enough to read by, just enough to rest by, a pool of warmth that reaches exactly to the edges of the reading nook and no further. Everything beyond this circle grows softer, more distant, the shelves fading into comfortable shadow, the front of the shop becoming another world entirely, leaving you here, safe and warm, in this small haven. You stand for a moment, just looking, taking in the completeness of this space, how everything here serves rest, serves quiet, serves the slow unwinding of the day. Outside, you hear the rain, steady now, no longer tentative, finding its rhythm, drops tapping the windows in patterns that shift and change, never quite repeating, always almost musical. The sound wraps around the shop, around you, like another blanket, another layer of safety, the rain saying you are right to be inside, right to be still, right to let the evening settle. You turn your attention back to the chair, this throne of velvet and comfort, and you know it is time to sink into it, to let it hold you. You position yourself in front of it, feeling how your body already knows what to do. How many times have you sat here? How many evenings have you claimed this exact spot? Your hands find the chair's arms again, gripping gently, and you lower yourself down, slowly, letting your weight transfer from standing to sitting, feeling the cushion rise to meet you. The velvet compresses beneath you, accepting your weight, distributing it evenly, and you sink, deeper than you expected, the cushion so soft, so yielding, embracing you from below. Your back meets the chair's back, and it too yields slightly, just enough, cradling your spine, supporting without pushing, holding without gripping. The wings of the chair rise on either side of your head, blocking peripheral vision, focusing your world down to what is directly before you, the lamp, the table, the warm amber light. You settle your arms on the chair's arms, feeling that velvet again under your forearms, cool and soft, your hands resting naturally, fingers curling slightly, releasing their grip on the day. Your shoulders drop, just a little, tension you did not know you carried, beginning to melt, to dissolve, into the chair's generous hold. You notice your feet resting on the floor, solid and grounded, but light somehow, as if the chair is taking most of your weight, leaving your feet merely as anchors, gentle reminders of the earth below. The chair seems to exhale around you, the leather creaking so softly, the wood frame settling, everything adjusting to your presence, welcoming you, making space. You breathe in, and the air here smells of old paper and wool and brass polish, of rain on window glass and dust in lamplight, of safety and time moving slowly. You breathe out, and some part of you releases with it, something you have been holding, all day, all week, letting it go now, into this velvet cocoon, into this circle of amber light. Safe and warm. The reading nook holds you. The rain continues its soft percussion, its lullaby against glass, and you are here, exactly here, nowhere else, with nowhere else to be. The blanket waits within reach, but you do not need it yet. The chair itself is warmth enough, the lamp's glow is warmth enough, this corner of the world is warmth enough. You let your head rest back against the chair's high back, feeling the support, the way it cups your skull gently, the way it says you can stop holding yourself up now, you can let go, you can rest. Your eyes half close, lids growing heavy in the amber light, and through your lashes the lamp glows softer still, a star, a small sun, just for you. Safe and warm. This corner is a cocoon within a cocoon, the reading nook within the shop within the rainy night, and you within it all, nested, protected, held. Minutes pass, or perhaps only seconds, time loosening its grip here, becoming flexible, unimportant. The chair knows how to hold a body, how to let weight distribute, how to make sitting feel like floating, like being cradled in something vast and gentle. You shift slightly, adjusting, finding the perfect position, and the velvet whispers against your clothes, the cushion sighs beneath you, everything accommodating, everything saying yes, rest here, stay here. Outside the rain falls. Inside you sink. The lamp glows. The chair holds. And everything is exactly as it should be. After some time in the velvet chair, you feel the pull toward movement, gentle and unhurried, the desire for something warm to hold, something to sip slowly, tea. You rise from the chair, and your body feels different now, looser somehow, as if the velvet has softened your edges, made you more pliable, more at ease. Your feet carry you toward the back room, through the amber pools of lamplight, past the shelves that watch in silence, toward the small space where the kettle waits. The back room is narrow, hardly more than a hallway widened, but it holds everything needed, a counter, a small sink, shelves with cups and tins, and the kettle, round and copper, sitting patient on its electric base. You reach for the kettle, and the metal is cool under your fingers, smooth and substantial, the handle fitting perfectly into your palm, designed by someone who understood hands, who understood the weight of water and copper. You carry it to the sink, feeling its lightness, its emptiness, and you turn the tap. Water flows, the sound sudden and bright in the quiet, a rush of white noise that fills the small room, splashing into the kettle's belly, echoing slightly in the copper chamber. You watch the water level rise, clear and clean, catching light from the single bulb overhead, and you notice how the sound changes as the kettle fills, the pitch shifting, rising, as air gives way to water, as emptiness becomes fullness. When it is full enough, not too much, not too little, you turn the tap closed, and the water's voice fades, drips away, leaving only the weight in your hand, heavier now, satisfying. You carry the kettle back to its base, setting it down with care, feeling it settle, solid and grounded, ready for its transformation. Your finger finds the switch, a small click, and inside the kettle, hidden from view, the heating element begins its work, silent at first, patient, building warmth in the darkness of the copper belly. You stand there, waiting, and the waiting itself becomes a meditation. There is nowhere to rush to, nothing demanding your attention, just this moment, this small room, this kettle beginning to warm. Your hands rest on the counter, feeling the cool laminate surface, slightly textured, easy to clean but softened by years of use, of other hands resting here, other people making tea in the quiet of evening. You hear it begin, the first whisper of heat, a soft sound like breath, like the kettle waking up, coming alive. Tiny bubbles form on the heating element, releasing, rising through the water, and the sound grows, a gentle murmur, a conversation between heat and water, ancient and familiar. While the water heats, you turn your attention to the shelves, where tins of tea stand in rows, each one a different color, a different promise. Your eyes move across them, reading labels without urgency: chamomile, English breakfast, green tea, mint, and there, Earl Grey. You reach for the Earl Grey tin, and it is cool and smooth, metal painted deep blue, with silver lettering that catches the light, elegant and simple. The lid fits snugly, sealed tight to keep the tea fresh, and you work it loose, feeling the slight resistance, then the release, the soft pop as air pressure equalizes. You lift the lid away, and immediately, the scent rises, bergamot, citrus and floral and mysterious, filling your nose, your head, the small room blooming with fragrance. Inside the tin, dried tea leaves, black and twisted, curled into themselves, sleeping until water wakes them, releases their essence, their gifts. You breathe in the bergamot, letting it settle in your lungs, and something in you responds, a memory of other evenings, other cups of tea, the comfort of ritual, of doing what has been done before, what will be done again. The kettle's voice grows louder now, not yet urgent, but stronger, the water moving faster, heated from below, beginning to stir, to roll. You set the tin down, and reach for the teapot, small and ceramic, glazed in cream, its surface slightly crazed with age, tiny lines mapping its history, every cup of tea it has ever held. The teapot is cool in your hands, waiting to be filled, to serve its purpose, and you set it on the counter beside the tin, arranging everything just so, the ritual unfolding in its proper order. You lift a spoon from a small container, metal light in your hand, and you dip it into the tin, into the dried leaves, scooping them up, measuring by instinct rather than precision, enough for 1 cup, perhaps a little more. The leaves tumble from the spoon into the teapot, a soft rustling sound, like wind through distant trees, and you add another spoonful, and another, building the strength you want, the depth of flavor. Behind you, the kettle's song intensifies, steam beginning to rise from its spout, visible in the cool air of the back room, twisting and dissipating, here then gone. The sound builds, a rolling boil approaching, and you turn, watching the steam, listening to the water's voice reaching its peak, ready, almost ready. And then, softly, not a shriek but a gentle whistle, the kettle calls. I am ready, come. You switch it off, and the whistle fades, the water settling, still hot, still eager, but calmer now, waiting for you. You lift the kettle, feeling its heat through the handle, not burning but warm, radiating life, and you carry it carefully to the teapot. Positioning the spout over the teapot's open mouth, you tilt, slowly, and water begins to pour. The sound is beautiful, liquid meeting ceramic, a splash at first, then a steadier flow as the pot begins to fill, water finding the tea leaves, surrounding them, beginning the ancient alchemy. Steam rises from the teapot now, carrying the bergamot upward, intensifying the scent, filling the small room with warmth and fragrance, with comfort made visible. You pour until the teapot is full, then right the kettle, setting it back on its base, its work complete, and you place the lid on the teapot, sealing the heat inside, letting the tea steep, brew, become itself. Now comes another waiting. You stand in the small room, hands resting on the counter again, breathing in the tea-scented air, feeling the warmth from the kettle, from the teapot, spreading slowly through the space. Time moves differently here, stretched and soft, elastic. You count your breaths instead of minutes, in, out, each breath carrying the scent of bergamot, each breath releasing something you no longer need. Safe and warm. The tea steeps in its ceramic chamber, leaves unfurling in the hot water, releasing their color, their essence, their gifts, turning water into something more, something rich and layered and comforting. When it feels right, when your body tells you it is time, you reach for a cup. The cup is thick ceramic, sturdy and reliable, glazed in white, simple and perfect, made for hands to wrap around, made for warmth to transfer from liquid to palm. You lift the teapot's lid, and steam billows out, carrying with it the full bloom of the tea's aroma, stronger now, deeper, the bergamot married to the black tea's earthiness. You pour, tilting the teapot, watching the stream of amber liquid, golden brown, catching light, flowing into the cup, filling it, the color of autumn, of sunset, of warmth made visible. The cup grows heavier as it fills, and warmer, heat seeping through the ceramic, and you stop pouring when the cup is 3/4 full, room for air, room to sip without spilling. You set the teapot down, and lift the cup with both hands, feeling its weight, its warmth, the slight roughness of the ceramic against your palms. You bring the cup close to your face, and the steam touches your skin, soft and damp, carrying the scent directly to you, and you breathe it in, deeply, letting it fill your lungs, your head, your whole being. Safe and warm. The first sip. You bring the cup to your lips, feeling the ceramic rim, smooth and slightly warm, and you tilt, just enough, and the tea meets your tongue. Hot, but not too hot, just at the edge of comfortable, the temperature perfect for this moment, for this evening. The taste blooms in your mouth, bergamot bright and citrus, then the black tea's depth, slightly bitter, slightly sweet, complex and familiar, a taste that means rest, that means evening, that means home. You swallow, and the warmth travels down your throat, spreading into your chest, settling in your center, a point of heat that radiates outward, gentle and soothing. You stand there in the small back room, cup cradled in both hands, feeling the warmth seep into your palms, into your fingers, tea-scented steam still rising, still touching your face with damp softness. The rain continues outside, steady and sure, and inside, you have made tea, performed this simple ritual, transformed water and leaves into comfort, into warmth you can hold, can sip, can feel spreading through your body. When you are ready, you carry your cup back toward the front of the shop, back toward the amber lamps and velvet chair, back toward the evening's slow unfolding. Each step careful, not wanting to spill, the tea moving gently in its cup, swaying with your movement, liquid gold, precious and warm. The shop receives you back, the shelves standing sentinel, the books holding their stories, and you carry your tea, your small beacon of warmth, back to the waiting chair, back to the reading nook where you belong. You settle back into the velvet chair, tea in hand, and the cushion remembers you, welcomes you back, accepting your weight as if you never left. The cup rests on the small table beside you, within easy reach, steam still rising in delicate spirals, and you let it cool, just a little, while you turn your attention to the evening's next quiet task. On the lower shelf of the small table, beneath the lamp, the inventory ledger waits. It is an old book, older than you, older than anyone who works here now, its cover made of leather gone soft with age, the color of chocolate, of earth, of time itself. You reach down, fingers finding the ledger's spine, and you draw it up slowly, feeling its weight, substantial and real, the weight of years, of entries made by dozens of hands, all the keepers who came before you. The leather is smooth under your palm, worn by touch, by being lifted and set down, opened and closed, 1,000 times, 10,000. You place it in your lap, and it settles there, heavy and warm, or perhaps it is you who are warm, your heat transferring to the old leather, bringing it to life. The cover bears no title, only a small brass plate, tarnished green at the edges, with words engraved so long ago they have softened, blurred slightly, but still readable. Inventory, and beneath that, a date from decades past. You run your thumb over the brass plate, feeling the slight ridges of the engraved letters, the coolness of metal, the way it has held its shape while everything around it has changed and softened. You open the ledger. The cover lifts with a soft creak, leather stiff in its hinge, and the first page reveals itself, thick paper, cream-colored, the texture almost like cloth, fibrous and strong, made to last, to hold ink for generations. The pages are not smooth, they have tooth, texture, the kind of paper that drinks ink, that holds it, that becomes part of what is written. You turn past the first few pages, past entries from years ago, handwriting in brown ink, faded but still clear, names of books, dates, prices in old currency, each entry a small history, a record of what passed through this shop, what found new homes, what was loved and carried away. The pages whisper as you turn them, a sound like wind through paper, like breath. You find today's page, blank and waiting, lines drawn in faint gray, guidelines for entries to come, and you pause, looking at the emptiness, the potential. On the table beside you, next to your tea, a fountain pen rests in its holder. The pen is black, lacquered and shining, with a gold clip and gold band at its center, elegant and weighted, designed to feel important in the hand, to make the act of writing feel ceremonial. You lift it, and immediately you notice the balance, the way it sits in your grip, neither too heavy nor too light, the weight distributed perfectly, front to back. The cap pulls off with a soft sound, a gentle friction, and you set it aside, revealing the nib, gold and slightly worn, shaped by use, by the pressure of other hands, other entries. You hold the pen poised over the page, and for a moment you simply feel it, the potential energy, the readiness, the nib waiting to meet paper, to release its ink, to make marks that will remain. You begin to write. The nib touches down, and there is a slight scratch, paper against metal, a sound so small it is almost not a sound, more a vibration you feel through your fingers, through the pen itself. You form the date, slowly, deliberately, each number receiving its full attention, the pen gliding across the textured page, ink flowing from the nib, midnight blue, almost black. The ink appears wet and dark, then begins to dry, settling into the paper, becoming permanent, and you watch this transformation, this moment when thought becomes record, when the temporary becomes lasting. Your handwriting flows, not rushed, each letter formed with care, the loops and lines and curves all receiving their time, their proper shape. The scratch of the pen becomes a rhythm, scratch, pause, scratch, the sound of concentration, of attention, of being fully present with this simple act. You note the books that were sold today, before you arrived, their titles recorded by the day clerk, and you copy them into the ledger, making the record official, permanent. Each title you write by hand, feeling how the letters connect, how words form, how meaning transfers from mind to hand to pen to paper, this ancient chain of communication. The pen moves across the page, left to right, line after line, and you notice how the nib catches slightly on the paper's texture, how it releases, how ink pools for just a moment before the paper absorbs it. There is something meditative in this, in writing by hand, in taking time with each letter, each word. Your breathing slows to match the rhythm. Inhale as you form a letter, exhale as you move to the next, breath and writing becoming one. The lamp's amber light falls across the page, making the white paper glow, making your shadow hand move across it like something alive, like something separate from you yet part of you. You pause to dip the pen, even though it is self-contained, even though it holds its own ink, the gesture is habitual, remembered from older pens, older ways, and you touch the nib to the page again, ready to continue. Outside, the rain maintains its steady voice, and inside, the pen maintains its whisper, two sounds, two rhythms, weaving together. Drifting slowly. You write an entry about a rare book that was ordered, noting the title, the author, the expected delivery date, and the act of writing makes it real, makes it something to anticipate, something to look forward to. The pen's weight in your hand feels right, feels like an extension of your fingers, and you realize you could do this for hours, just write, just make these marks, just participate in this ancient human act of recording, of remembering. Your wrist rests against the page, and you can feel your own pulse, gentle and steady, life moving through you, making itself known in this quiet moment. The leather of the ledger is warm now, heated by your lap, by your hands, and the pages you have written on are slightly warmer still, touched more, held more. You come to the end of the entries you need to make, and you pause, pen hovering, considering if there is anything else, anything worth noting, worth preserving. But there is only the quiet, the rain, the amber light, and these feel like enough, more than enough. You set the pen down on the table, and it rolls slightly, settling into stillness beside your teacup. The ink on the page is drying fully now, losing its wet sheen, becoming matte, becoming permanent, part of the ledger's long history, your handwriting joining all the others who have written here, who have kept this record, who have cared for this place. You look at what you have written, the neat lines, the careful letters, and there is satisfaction in it, in this small task completed, in this bit of order maintained. Drifting slowly. The ledger remains open in your lap, pages breathing, and you rest your hand on them, feeling the texture, the slight warmth, the way they hold the weight of all that has been recorded, all that has been remembered. The shop seems quieter now, or perhaps you have grown quieter, more still, more settled into this evening, into this role, this ritual of tending and recording and simply being here. Your tea has cooled to the perfect temperature, tepid and smooth, and you lift the cup again, taking another slow sip, letting the liquid warmth spread through you, complementing the warmth of the lamp, the warmth of the chair, the warmth of this small circle of light in the greater darkness. The taste is gentler now, less bright, the bergamot softened, mellowed, like everything else in this space, in this evening, moving towards something softer, something easier, something like rest. You close the ledger, the pages settling together, the cover falling shut with a soft sound, leather on leather, and you return it to its shelf beneath the table, the task complete, the record made. Your hands are empty now, except for the teacup, and you cradle it, feeling its diminishing warmth, its weight growing lighter as you drink, as the tea becomes part of you. The pen rests where you left it, the ledger sleeps in its place, and you are here, in the velvet chair, in the amber light, in the steady voice of rain, exactly where you are meant to be. Safe, and held, and drifting slowly into the deeper quiet of the evening, where nothing demands, where everything simply is, where rest becomes the only task, the only purpose, the only need. After some time in the chair, you feel the gentle pull to move again, to walk among the shelves, to let your body unfold from sitting, to explore the shop that holds you. You rise slowly, leaving the teacup behind, empty now, its warmth given to you, and you step away from the amber circle of the reading nook, into the wider space where books wait in their thousands. Your feet carry you toward the middle of the shop, where the tallest shelves stand, where philosophy lives beside poetry, where ancient volumes rest in patient rows. The light here is different, softer than before, the lamps seem dimmer now, or perhaps it is the hour, the way evening deepens without announcement, without permission, simply becoming what it becomes. The amber has shifted, taken on undertones of violet, of shadow, the color of the sky between day and night, the color of transition, of in-between. You walk slowly along the shelves, and your eyes drift across the spines, reading titles without urgency, without purpose, just noticing, just seeing what has always been here, what will always be here. Leather bindings, cloth covers, some cracked with age, some pristine, some loved into softness, each one a door, a portal, a world contained and waiting. Your hand reaches out, fingers trailing along the spines, feeling the textures change, smooth to rough, cool to warm, the tactile language of books. And then, one book calls to you. You cannot say why, cannot explain the attraction, but your hand stops, your fingers rest on a particular spine, dark leather, no title visible, only the texture, the slight resistance, the way it stands just slightly proud of its neighbors. You grip it gently, and pull. The book slides free with a whisper, dust releasing, other books shifting slightly to fill the gap, and suddenly, it is in your hands. And again, you notice the weight. Just like the logbook earlier, just like that familiar grounding presence, but different now, softer somehow, this weight in your hands, solid and real, pulling gently downward, reminding you of gravity, of substance, of things that matter. The book is heavy, not uncomfortably so, but substantial, the kind of weight that says this object has importance, has history, has been held by many hands before yours. You stand there, holding it, feeling how it sits in your palms, how your fingers curl around its edges, how your thumbs rest on the cover. The leather is cool at first, then slowly, so slowly, it begins to warm, absorbing your heat, becoming part of you, or you becoming part of it, the boundary blurring. You notice the texture, pebbled slightly, age having softened what was once crisp, time having smoothed what was once sharp, decades of hands having loved it into gentleness. There is something deeply calming about this weight, this presence in your hands. It anchors you, grounds you, says you are here, you are real, you are holding something that exists, that matters. The same feeling as before, that grounding, but deeper now, more settled, as if the evening has softened you enough to really feel it, to really understand what it means to hold something, to be held by something. You turn the book over, feeling its heft shift in your hands, and you see the spine, embossed letters, worn nearly smooth, but still readable in the violet-tinged lamplight, a title in Latin, something about wisdom, about the nature of rest. How appropriate, you think, or perhaps you do not think it, perhaps you simply feel it, this rightness, this sense that this book found you, that you were meant to hold it in this moment, in this light, in this suspended time. You open the book, slowly, carefully, and the spine creaks, leather and binding having grown stiff with age, then yielding, remembering how to open, how to reveal. The pages whisper as they part, thick paper, yellowed at the edges, the color of cream gone golden, the color of age without decay, preserved, protected, held safe by the shop, by time, by care. You lift the book closer, and the scent reaches you, vanilla and must, old paper and older ink, the smell of centuries, of knowledge pressed between pages, of words that have waited, patient and eternal. The text inside is dense, small print, in a language you do not fully know, but that does not matter. You are not here to read, not here to understand, only to hold, to feel, to be present with this object that has survived so long, that will survive long after. You turn a page, and it moves heavily, weighted by time, by the ink it carries, and the sound it makes is like breath, like the building itself breathing, like the past speaking in whispers. The violet light falls across the open pages, and the text seems to shimmer slightly, to move in the shadows, letters dancing at the edge of vision, never quite still, never quite clear. Drifting, dissolving. You stand in the aisle between tall shelves, book open in your hands, and you realize you have no sense of how long you have been standing here, minutes, hours. Time has become flexible, unimportant, just another thing that softens in this place, in this evening. The weight of the book continues to pull gently downward, and you let it. You do not fight, you simply hold, and let the holding be enough. Your breathing has synchronized with something, the rain perhaps, or the turning of pages, or simply the rhythm of the shop itself, this place that breathes and holds and remembers. You turn another page, and another, not reading, just moving through the book, participating in its existence, honoring it with your attention, your touch, your presence. The leather cover warms fully in your hands now, the same temperature as your skin, no longer separate, and the pages you touch carry your warmth into the book, spreading through it, waking it gently from its shelf sleep. Around you, the other books watch, or seem to watch, their spines creating vertical lines that stretch up toward the ceiling, toward shadows that gather there, soft and violet and deep. The shop feels larger in this light, or perhaps smaller, distances becoming uncertain, edges blurring, everything softening into something dreamlike, something between waking and sleeping, between doing and being. You close the book, gently, letting the pages settle together, letting the covers meet with a soft sound, and the weight in your hands feels complete again, whole. And once more, you notice how this weight grounds you, pulls you down into your body, into the floor, into the earth beneath the floor, into the vast and stable world that holds everything. Safe, and heavy, and real. You hold the book against your chest for a moment, feeling it press against you, feeling your heart beat behind it, the living and the preserved, the temporary and the lasting, meeting in this simple embrace. Then slowly, you return it to its place on the shelf, sliding it back into the gap it left, feeling it settle among its companions, returning to its long waiting, its patient existence. Your hand lingers on the spine, one last touch, one last acknowledgement, and then you let go. The book stands there, as it has stood for years, as it will stand for years more, and you stand in the aisle, in the violet light, in the quiet that follows. The rain continues, softer now, or perhaps it has always been this soft, and you have only just noticed, only just heard how gentle it is, how it asks nothing, demands nothing, simply falls, and falls, and falls. Drifting, dissolving. You take a breath, deep and slow, and the air tastes of old paper and dust, of time made tangible, of rest made visible. The shelves rise around you, holding their books, holding their silence, holding you in this moment between moments, this space between spaces, where everything is soft, and weighted, and exactly as it should be. You let your hand fall to your side, empty now, but still feeling the echo of that weight, still grounded, still held, still here, in this violet hour, in this shop of whispers, in this evening that stretches like honey, like time itself has learned to rest. A sound, so soft you almost miss it, reaches you through the quiet. From the back of the shop, near the door that leads to the alley, a gentle scratch, a presence announcing itself without urgency, without demand. You turn toward the sound, and you already know, the shop cat, arriving for the evening, as it always does, as it has done for years, crossing through the dusk to find this warm place, this sanctuary. You move through the violet shadows, past shelves that fade into dimness, toward the back door, and you can hear it now, a soft mewing, patient and certain, knowing you will come, knowing the door will open. Your hand finds the latch, cool metal, and you turn it slowly, the mechanism clicking, releasing, and the door swings inward, bringing with it a breath of cool evening air, rain-scented and fresh. And there, sitting on the threshold, the cat. Gray as smoke, gray as shadow, its fur slightly damp from crossing through the rain, beaded with tiny droplets that catch what little light remains in the alley. It looks up at you, green eyes luminous in the dimness, and makes a small sound, a greeting, a recognition, and then it steps inside, moving past your legs, its body brushing against you, warm and soft and alive. You close the door behind it, shutting out the cool air, the rain, the outside world, and the cat is already moving deeper into the shop, tail high, knowing exactly where it wants to go. You follow, watching how it walks, liquid and certain, paws silent on the old floor, body flowing like water, like something that has no bones, only grace, only purpose. It winds between table legs, around chair bases, navigating the familiar terrain with eyes half closed, following a path worn by habit, by years of these evening arrivals. You watch as it approaches the small space heater, an old unit that sits near the reading nook, radiating gentle warmth into the surrounding air. Beside the heater, a cushion waits, burgundy velvet, compressed in the center where the cat always rests, a perfect circle of use, of comfort claimed and reclaimed, night after night. The cat reaches the cushion, and pauses, turning once, twice, 3 times, the ancient ritual, making the space right, making it perfect, and then it settles. Its body curls into itself, tail wrapping around, nose tucking toward tail, a circle of gray fur, complete and contained, finding its form for the evening. You kneel slowly beside it, lowering yourself down, and reach out one hand, fingers extended, offering touch. The cat lifts its head slightly, acknowledging, and your hand makes contact, fingers sinking into fur, soft and thick, still slightly cool from outside, but warming quickly in the shop's embrace. You stroke along its back, feeling the spine beneath, the delicate bones, the muscles that allow such fluid movement, and the fur parts under your palm, then closes again behind your touch. The texture is remarkable, each hair so fine, but together creating something substantial, something that holds warmth, that defines this small creature, that makes it real and present in here. Your hand moves from head to tail, slow and steady, and the cat's eyes close, its body settling deeper into the cushion, accepting your touch, welcoming it. And then, the purring begins. So soft at first you feel it before you hear it, a vibration under your palm, a humming in the small body, and then the sound emerges, low and steady, a motor of contentment, of safety, of rest. The purr fills the space around you, not loud, but present, unmistakable, a sound that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere, from the cat and from the air itself. You continue stroking, and the purr continues, a rhythm that matches nothing and everything, that simply is, constant and soothing, joining the rain's voice, the building's breathing, the quiet hum of the heater. Featherlight, and hushing. The cat's body is completely relaxed now, surrendered to rest, to warmth, to this moment of arrival and settling, showing you how it is done, how to simply be, how to find comfort and claim it without hesitation. Your hand slows, gentles, and finally stills, resting on the cat's side, feeling the rise and fall of its breathing, the purr vibrating through your palm, the life contained in this small form. You watch as the cat's eyes close completely, as its breathing deepens, as it drifts towards sleep, still purring, the sound becoming softer, more internal, a lullaby it sings to itself. The shop seems quieter with the cat here, or perhaps fuller, a different quality to the silence, as if the space needed this presence, this living warmth, this creature that knows how to rest, that teaches rest by example. You remain kneeling for a long moment, hand on the sleeping cat, feeling the purr fade to almost nothing, becoming a memory in your palm, a vibration you feel more than hear. Outside, the rain continues, inside, the cat sleeps, and between these two rhythms, you exist, present and still, part of the shop's breathing, part of the evening's unfolding. Featherlight, and hushing. Slowly, you withdraw your hand, letting it lift away from the soft fur, and the cat does not stir, does not wake, merely continues its descent into sleep, secure and warm and safe. You rise to your feet, joints releasing, body unfolding, and you stand looking down at the curled gray form, this small life that trusts the shop, that trusts you, that knows this place as home. The heater glows beside it, casting a faint orange light, and in this light the cat seems almost to glow too, its fur catching the warmth, the color, becoming part of the light itself. You turn away, leaving it to its rest, and you notice how the sound of its purring, even now fading into silence, has changed something in the air, softened something in your chest, reminded you that rest is natural, is right, is what evening is for. The violet light seems deeper now, the shadows fuller, and you move through them like the cat moved, certain of your path, knowing where you belong, what comes next in this ritual of evening, this slow descent into quietness, into stillness, into the rest that waits. Two rhythms now, rain and breathing, rain and purring, rain and heartbeat, all of them slowing, all of them teaching you, showing you, guiding you toward the same rest the cat has found, the same surrender, the same perfect trust in warmth and safety and this small circle of light in the greater darkness. Your eyes lift upward, toward the highest shelves, where the oldest books rest, books rarely touched, rarely opened, waiting in the shadows near the ceiling. A ladder stands against the shelves, wooden and worn, its rails smooth from decades of hands, of climbing, of reaching for volumes kept high and safe from the everyday world. You approach the ladder, and place your hand on its side rail, feeling the wood, cool and solid, grain raised slightly, tactile and real. The ladder sits on a track, metal rails that run the length of the wall, allowing it to slide, to move from section to section, giving access to every high shelf, every forgotten corner. You push gently, and the ladder moves, wheels rolling with a hushed sound, metal on metal, quiet as a whisper, smooth as water, gliding along its path. The sound is soothing somehow, this soft rolling, this mechanical whisper, another voice joining the rain, the distant purr, the building's gentle settling. You position the ladder where you want it, and it stops, perfectly still, perfectly stable, waiting for you to climb, to rise, to enter the upper realm where dust and shadow live. Your foot finds the first rung, cool wood under your sole, and you step up, testing, trusting, and the ladder holds, solid and sure, decades of service making it reliable, making it safe. Another step, another rung, and you rise slowly, leaving the ground behind, entering the vertical space, the between place, neither floor nor ceiling, suspended. With each step the air changes, grows cooler, stiller, as if the warmth of the shop stays low, hugging the ground, leaving the upper reaches untouched, pristine. You breathe in, and the coolness fills your lungs, clean and sharp, different from the warm amber air below. This is the air of heights, of places rarely visited, of silence that has settled and remained. Your hands grip the rails, one after another, pulling yourself up, and the wood is smooth, worn by countless hands before yours, shaped by use into something perfect for holding, for trusting. Higher, and higher still, until you are level with the uppermost shelves, and you pause, standing on a middle rung, arms at rest, looking out over the shop from this new perspective. Everything looks different from here. The reading nook below, small and distant, the lamp a tiny sun, the velvet chair a shadow among shadows, and near it, the gray curl of the sleeping cat, barely visible, barely there. The aisles between shelves, corridors of dimness, paths that lead into violet shadow, and you realize how vast the shop is, how many books it holds, how much quiet lives here. The windows, dark now, showing only night and the suggestion of rain, drops catching light from somewhere, anywhere, creating small stars that appear and vanish, appear and vanish. From up here, the shop breathes differently, or perhaps you feel it's breathing more clearly, the way old buildings settle, the way wood expands and contracts, the way space itself seems to pulse, so slowly, so gently. You turn your attention to the shelf before you, at eye level now, and these books are different, older than old, their spines faded nearly colorless, leather gone soft as cloth, titles barely readable in the dim light. You reach out, selecting a volume at random, and pull it free. Dust releases, a small cloud, particles catching what little light exists, drifting down like snow, like time made visible, centuries compressed into this soft falling. The book in your hands feels fragile, not quite solid, as if it might dissolve if held too tightly, if treated without reverence. The leather cover is impossibly soft, worn beyond texture, beyond resistance, just the memory of what it once was, the ghost of durability, holding together through habit, through care, through the shop's protection. You open it carefully, and the spine barely creaks, too old even for that, and the pages inside are thin, translucent almost, the text showing through from one side to the other, letters layered and doubled, meaning multiplied. The paper feels like silk, like something between solid and air, and you touch it so lightly, afraid to damage, afraid to leave a mark, your fingerprints too crude for something this delicate. The text is in a language you do not know, perhaps Latin, perhaps something older, the letters formed by hand, ink faded to brown, to sepia, to the color of old photographs, of memory itself. You cannot read it, but you look anyway, letting your eyes move over the curves and lines, the shapes that once meant something, that still mean something to those who know, to those who remember. Melting, drifting. Up here, time feels different, thinner, as if the present moment is not quite solid, as if past and future blur together, as if you stand in a place between, a liminal shelf where normal rules do not apply. The coolness surrounds you, gentle and clean, and you realize your breath is visible, just barely, small clouds that form and fade, marking your breathing, making it seen. You close the book, returning it to its place, and reach for another, and another, touching spines, feeling textures, participating in their existence without disturbing them, without taking them from their long rest. The dust continues to drift, lazy and slow, catching light that seems to come from nowhere, from everywhere, particles suspended. Your hands move along the shelf, touching, acknowledging, and the book seemed to lean into your touch, seemed to recognize it, seemed grateful for the attention, for being remembered, for not being forgotten completely. Below, the shop continues, the cat sleeps, the rain falls, the lamps glow, and you float here in the upper realm, in the cool quiet, in the space where old things dream. Melting, drifting. After some time, or perhaps no time, you feel the pull to descend, to return to warmth, to ground, to the world that waits below. You turn on the ladder, carefully, feeling for the rungs with your feet, and you begin to climb down, one step, pause, another step, pause, no rush, no urgency, just the slow return. The air warms as you descend, degree by degree, the coolness releasing you, the amber warmth reclaiming you, welcoming you back. Your feet touch the floor, solid and certain, and you step away from the ladder, leaving it where it stands, a bridge between worlds, between high and low, between the forgotten and the remembered. You breathe deeply, and the air is warm again, full again, holding the scent of paper and dust and rain, holding you, grounding you, bringing you back to your body, to this evening, to this slow unfolding of rest. The shop from the ground feels smaller, more intimate, more like home, and you move through it differently now, having seen it from above, having touched its highest places, having honored what lives in the shadows near the ceiling. Everything softer now, everything dimmer, the violet light deepening toward blue, toward gray, toward the colors that have no name, that exist only in transition, only in the hour between. Near the front of the shop, beneath one of the tall windows, a window seat waits, cushioned and wide, a place to sit and watch the world outside, or to turn inward, to simply be. You move toward it, drawn by something you cannot name, perhaps the need to see the rain, to witness it directly, to be close to it while remaining sheltered, protected. The seat is built into the wall, wood painted white long ago, now aged to cream, to ivory, the paint smooth in some places, cracked in others, showing layers beneath, history written in pigment and time. A cushion covers the seat, deep blue fabric, worn soft, compressed in the center where countless people have sat. Where you have sat. Watching, waiting, resting. You lower yourself onto the cushion, feeling it give beneath you, accepting your weight, and you shift, finding the position that feels right, the place where your body fits, where comfort lives. The window is directly beside you now, large panes of old glass, slightly wavy, imperfect, the kind of glass that bends light, that shows the world not quite as it is, but as something softer, something dreamlike. You lean slightly, and your shoulder meets the window frame, cool wood, and through your shirt, through your skin, you feel the deeper coolness of the glass beyond, the outside pressing in, the night's temperature seeking entry, but never quite reaching you. Rain traces paths down the glass. Rivulets forming, merging, separating, each drop following gravity, following the pull downward, creating temporary rivers, temporary roads, that exist for moments, then vanish, absorbed, evaporated, gone. You watch without thinking, without trying to understand, just seeing, just following one drop, then another, watching them race, watching them pause, watching them surrender to the inevitable descent. The street beyond is empty. Cobblestones dark with rain, slick and gleaming, reflecting what little light exists, a street lamp at the corner, its glow diffused by mist, by the rain that falls through its circle of illumination. Everything out there is soft with rain, blurred, the edges of buildings uncertain, the line between sky and street dissolving, all of it becoming one thing, one presence, one voice of water and darkness and cool night air. Everything in here is softer still. The shop behind you, barely visible now, the lamps dim to almost nothing, or perhaps your eyes have adjusted, perhaps the world itself is dimming, evening deepening into night, light retreating, shadows expanding, claiming territory. You breathe, and the window fogs slightly. Just there, where your breath meets glass, a small circle of condensation appears, cloudy and soft, obscuring the rain beyond, creating a veil, a barrier between you and the outside. Then it fades, clarity returning, the rain visible again, and you breathe once more, and again the fog appears, a rhythm, breath and fog and fade, breath and fog and fade. You watch this happen, mesmerized by the simple physics of it, warm breath meeting cold glass, moisture condensing, then evaporating, the cycle endless, effortless, your body doing what it does, your breath visible, made real, made seen. The rain sounds different here, closer, more present. You can hear individual drops striking glass, a gentle percussion, a tapping that has no pattern but creates rhythm anyway, the way water always does, the way nature refuses order but achieves harmony. Cool, so cool against your shoulder, the glass pulling heat from your body, and you do not mind, the contrast feels good, necessary, a reminder that you are warm, that warmth has meaning only when coolness exists, that comfort is understood through its opposite. Your other side faces the shop, faces the amber glow, the distant warmth, and you exist between these two worlds, between outside and inside, between cold and warm, between the wild rain and the tame shelter. A threshold moment, a doorway state, neither here nor there but both, all, everything and nothing, suspended. The street remains empty, no cars, no people, just rain and cobblestones and a patient lamp casting its soft glow, and you realize you have no idea what time it is, how long you have been here, how long the evening has stretched. Time has become elastic, unreliable, and you do not care, do not need to know. The clock on the wall ticks somewhere in the shop, but its numbers mean nothing, its hands move through a language you no longer speak. You watch your breath fog the window, watch it fade, watch it fog again, and this becomes everything, this simple cycle, this proof of life, this visible exhalation. Your heartbeat slows, or seems to slow, matching something, the rain perhaps, or the rhythm of your breathing, or the pulse of the shop itself, all of you beating together, breathing together, existing together in this soft darkness. Outside, a slight movement catches your eye. A leaf, brown and curled, tumbling along the wet street, pushed by wind you cannot feel, moving in fits and starts, alive in its dead way, still participating in the world, still traveling, still going somewhere, anywhere. You watch until it disappears from view, carried beyond the window's frame, and you feel something, not sadness exactly, but a gentle melancholy, the sweetness of small endings, of things passing, of moments that will not return. But it is not painful, this feeling, it is soft, acceptable, part of the evening's texture, part of what makes rest possible, the acknowledgement that everything passes, everything changes, and that is as it should be. The rain continues, steady and sure, and you realize it has been raining for hours, or perhaps minutes, or perhaps forever. Perhaps the world outside is always rain, always darkness, always this soft falling, this gentle percussion against glass and stone and earth. Your eyes grow heavy, lids wanting to close, and you let them, for a moment, just to rest, just to feel the darkness behind your eyes, to know that seeing and not seeing are not so different, that both are forms of presence, of being here, of existing in this shop, in this evening, in this slow dissolving of day into night. When you open them again, nothing has changed, rain, darkness, lamplight, your breath fogging and fading, the shop breathing behind you, the cat sleeping somewhere in the shadows, everything continuing, everything the same. And there is deep comfort in this, in sameness, in continuity, in knowing that some things remain, that rain will fall, that windows will receive your breath, that cushions will hold your weight, that rest will come when called. You sit, and watch, and breathe, and fog the glass, and fade, and fog again, part of the cycle now, part of the rain's rhythm, part of the shop's dreaming, part of the evening's long descent into the quiet country where all things rest, where all things soften, where edges blur and boundaries dissolve and everything becomes one soft darkness, one gentle hold, one perfect surrender to what is, to what has always been, to what will always be. Eventually, you rise from the window seat, though you cannot say what prompts this, only that your body knows it is time to move deeper into the shop, deeper into the evening, deeper into the quiet that waits. Your feet carry you away from the window, away from the rain-streaked glass, back through the shop toward the back room, the small space where you made tea hours ago, or minutes ago, time having lost its shape, its meaning. The light is different now, nearly gone, the lamps having dimmed to almost nothing, or perhaps they were always this dim and you are only now noticing, only now feeling how darkness has filled the spaces between things. You move through shadow, through violet-gray dimness, and the shelves are no longer distinct, just suggestions, vertical presences, the books invisible now, hidden, sleeping in their long rows, dreaming whatever books dream. The back room doorway appears, a rectangle of deeper darkness, and you pass through, entering this smaller space, this narrow world where the kettle lives, where tea was made, where you stood in amber light that now seems like something from another time, another life. Here, shadows live fully. The shapes of things are more felt than seen, your eyes adjusting, trying to find form in the dimness, but there is not enough light, not anymore. The evening has progressed beyond seeing, into the realm of touch, of memory, of trust. Your hand reaches out, fingers extended, seeking, and they find the counter's edge, cool laminate, familiar, and you let your palm rest there, grounding yourself, knowing where you are by what you touch, by what is solid, by what remains when light fails. You move slowly along the counter, hand trailing, feeling the textures change, smooth surface, then the rounded corner, then the sink's metal edge, cool and slightly damp, each thing announcing itself through your fingertips, through pressure and temperature and texture. The kettle sits where you left it, your hand finds its round body, metal cool now, all its heat given away hours ago, returned to room temperature, to the neutrality of unused things. You touch its handle, its spout, mapping it in darkness, remembering how it looked in light, how it gleamed, how steam rose from it, but those memories feel distant, soft, like something that happened to someone else, in another shop, in another time. Above you, the shelf, you cannot see it but you know it is there, and you reach up, fingers finding wood, finding the tins of tea, touching each one, smooth metal, cool and still, sleeping in their row, waiting for morning, for light, for hands that can see what they are doing. You turn, and face the rest of the small room, and there, just visible, the staircase. A narrow stair leading upward, into darkness deeper still, rising toward the loft, the space under the roof where a bed waits, where rest lives in its purest form. The stairs are barely visible, just the suggestion of vertical lines, of risers and treads, of a path leading up, and you feel drawn toward them, pulled by something you cannot name, by the promise of height, of smallness, of a place even more removed from the world than this back room, this shadow-filled space. Your hand finds the railing, wood smooth and cool, shaped by hands climbing and descending, by years of touch, of trust, and you place your foot on the first step. It creaks, softly, a voice in the darkness, wood speaking its age, its weariness, but holding, always holding, reliable even in shadow, even when unseen. You climb, slowly, one step at a time, hands sliding along the rail, feet testing each tread before trusting it with your weight, moving through darkness like water, like smoke, like something that has no edges, no boundaries. The air grows cooler as you rise, the warmth of the shop below falling away, staying low, and your breath becomes visible again, soft clouds in darkness, proof of life, proof of movement, proof that you continue, that you exist, even here, even now. Each step a small journey, each creak a small song, and you count them without counting, feeling the rhythm, feeling how your body knows the number, has climbed these stairs before, will climb them again, the knowledge living in muscles, in bones, in the way feet find their placement without thought. Higher, into darkness, into cool air, into the space between shop and sky, between earth and roof, between the world of books and the world of sleep. Your hand leaves the railing, reaching forward, and finds the doorframe at the top, rough wood, unpainted, authentic and old, and you pull yourself up the final step, emerging into the loft. Here, darkness is complete. No light reaches this space, no lamp, no window glow, just pure shadow, cool and soft and absolute, and you stand in it, feeling it surround you, envelope you, make you part of itself. Your eyes see nothing, but your body knows the space, knows the sloped ceiling, the narrow width, the bed against the far wall, all of it mapped in memory, in previous visits, in the body's understanding of place. You move forward, hands extended slightly, and the air feels thick somehow, substantial, as if darkness has weight, has presence, as if you are moving through something rather than through nothing. Your shin touches the bed frame, gentle contact, and you stop, having arrived, having found what you were seeking, this horizontal place, this surface of rest, this altar of surrender. You reach down, and your hands find quilts, layers of them, fabrics soft and heavy, old cotton and wool, textures blending in darkness, becoming one thing, one soft mountain of warmth waiting to receive you, to cover you, to hold you through the night. The mattress gives slightly when you press it, testing, and it responds, neither too soft nor too firm, just right, just enough, a balance achieved through years of use, through bodies learning its shape, through rest teaching it how to hold. You sit, slowly, lowering yourself onto the bed's edge, and it accepts you, makes space, and you feel the quilts against your side, heavy and light at once, paradoxical, impossible, perfect. Your hands explore the surface, finding pillows, 2 of them, plump and soft, covered in fabric worn smooth, and you arrange them, positioning them, preparing the place where your head will rest, where thought will finally stop, where consciousness will dissolve into the deeper darkness of sleep. The loft holds you in its cool dimness, in its sloped embrace, and you realize this space is like being inside something, inside a cocoon, inside a shell, protected on all sides, the ceiling low enough to touch, the walls close enough to feel, everything intimate, everything safe. Below, far below, the shop continues its quiet breathing, the cat sleeps on its cushion, the rain falls against windows you can no longer see, and here, in this upper room, in this nest of darkness, you prepare to join them, to add your rest to the building's rest, to become part of the great stillness that gathers in the night. You lie back, carefully, feeling for the bed's length, and your body stretches out, horizontal at last, released from standing, from sitting, from the vertical world, and the mattress holds you, the quilts wait beside you, the pillows cradle your head, and everything says yes, rest here, stay here, let go here. Darkness above, darkness below, darkness all around, and you are the center of this darkness, the small warm presence, the last ember of awareness, slowly cooling, slowly fading, slowly joining the shadow, becoming shadow yourself, becoming part of the loft's dreaming, part of the night's long hold. You lie in the darkness of the loft, body stretched along the mattress, and the quilts wait beside you, patient and heavy, ready to cover, ready to warm, ready to complete this cocoon. Your hand reaches out, finding the nearest quilt, and you pull it toward you, feeling its weight, substantial but not oppressive, the kind of weight that comforts, that presses gently down, that says you are here, you are held, you are safe. The fabric is soft against your fingers, cotton worn smooth by washing, by years of use, by other bodies seeking warmth, seeking rest, and you draw it over yourself, feeling it settle, feeling it conform to your shape, becoming part of you. The weight spreads across your chest, your legs, your feet, and something in you responds, something deep, something that recognizes this pressure as safety, as the world saying I will hold you now, you can let go. The edges fade, everything grows dim. Another quilt, heavier still, and you pull this one over the first, layering, building, creating a mountain of softness and weight, and with each layer you feel yourself sinking deeper into the mattress, into the bed, into the loft itself, as if you are being absorbed, welcomed into the structure, becoming part of the building's dreaming. Your body loosens under this gentle pressure, muscles releasing tension they have held for hours, for days, for lifetimes, letting it flow out of you, into the mattress, into the quilts, into the cool air of the loft where it dissipates, dissolves, becomes nothing. The sloped ceiling above you is invisible, but you feel it there, close, protective, like a hand cupped over you, like the roof of a cave, like the inside of something vast and gentle that has made space for you, that wants you here, that needs you to rest. Your breathing slows, deepens, no longer something you control, just something that happens, in, out, the rhythm finding itself, the body knowing what to do when left alone, when given permission to simply be. Everything in you starts drifting down. Somewhere, far below, you hear the rain, muffled by walls and floors and distance, but still present, still singing its endless song, and the sound is not outside or inside but everywhere, part of the air, part of the darkness, part of the texture of night itself. The loft has one small window, you remember it now, though you cannot see it, and through it, if you could see, would be only darkness, only night sky and rain, the world reduced to its simplest elements, water and air and the absence of light. But you do not need to see, seeing is for the waking world, for the world of shapes and colors and distinctions, here, in the loft, in the darkness under quilts, there is only feeling, only sensation, only the slow dissolution of boundaries between self and space. Your thoughts dissolve before they can form. Ideas rise like bubbles, then pop, then vanish, leaving no trace, no residue, just the smooth surface of consciousness, like still water, like glass, like nothing at all. You try to remember what you were thinking, what you were worried about, what needed doing, but the thoughts will not stay, will not solidify, they are smoke, they are mist, they are already gone before they arrive. The quilts press down, gentle and sure, and your chest rises and falls beneath them, breath moving the weight settling back, a conversation between breathing and being held, both necessary, both perfect, both exactly as they should be. Your shoulders sink deeper into the pillow, into the mattress, and you notice that familiar weight again, but changed now, softened, no longer grounding but releasing, no longer holding you to earth but letting you drift, letting you float, letting you dissolve into the darkness that surrounds you. The edges of your body grow uncertain. Where do your arms end and the quilts begin? Where do your legs end and the mattress begins? The boundaries blur, soften, fade, and you become less a body and more a presence, a warmth in cool darkness, a small center of awareness in the vast quiet. Minutes melt into hours, or perhaps seconds stretch into eternities. There is no way to know, no way to measure. Time has become featherlight, has lost its grip, has released you into a space where past and future have no meaning, where only this moment exists, this breath, this heartbeat, this gentle sinking. The rain continues, constant, eternal, and you realize it has always been raining, will always be raining, the sound so woven into the fabric of the evening that removing it would unravel everything, would undo the spell, would wake you from this dream that is not quite sleep, not quite waking, but something between, something softer than either. Your breath hushing itself. So quiet now, barely moving air, barely disturbing the stillness, just the faintest exchange, just enough to continue, to maintain, to keep the small flame of consciousness flickering in its gentle way. The loft breathes with you, the building breathes with you, the shop below with its sleeping cat and glowing lamps breathes with you, all of you synchronized, all of you part of one vast respiration, one tide, one rhythm that started before you arrived and will continue after you have completely dissolved into rest. Under the quilts, in the darkness, you surrender to the cushioned quiet. Not fighting, not resisting, not holding on to anything, just allowing, accepting, becoming soft, becoming loose, becoming nothing more than a body at rest, a mind releasing its grip, a consciousness learning how to fade, how to dim, how to trust the darkness. Your eyelids are so heavy now, though they were already closed, a different kind of heaviness, the heaviness that comes before sleep, the weight that pulls consciousness down through layers, through veils, through the thin membrane between waking and dreaming. Each idea melts before it arrives. You try to think about tomorrow, about tasks, about anything, but the thoughts will not form, will not take shape, they are liquid, they are fog, they pool and dissipate, they rise and vanish, leaving only the smooth emptiness, the quiet mind, the still water that reflects nothing because there is nothing to reflect, only darkness, only rest, only the gentle letting go. The quilts seem heavier now, or perhaps you are lighter, perhaps you are sinking through the mattress, through the floor, through the building itself, returning to earth, to source, to the place all things return when they finally, let go. Your body loosens completely. Arms like water, legs like shadow, chest barely rising, barely falling, everything soft, everything slow, everything dissolving into the perfect temperature, the perfect darkness, the perfect weight, the perfect sound of rain and breath and the building's ancient settling. The loft holds you, the quilts hold you, the darkness holds you, and you are being held, you are safe, you are allowed to rest, to release, to let consciousness fade like smoke, like mist, like the last light of evening finally giving way to night. Everything settling, everything quiet. And somewhere in this darkness, in this softness, in this gentle weight, you feel yourself approaching the edge, the threshold, the place where waking becomes sleeping, where being becomes not being, where you, whoever you are, whatever you are, begin to fade, to blur, to merge with the darkness that has been waiting, patient and kind, ready to receive you, ready to let you rest, ready to hold you through the long gentle hours until light returns. If it returns, if it matters, if anything matters beyond this moment, this breath, this beautiful, perfect, dissolving. You lie still, so still, and the only thing that remains is the rain. Its voice fills everything now, fills the loft, fills your body, fills the space where thoughts used to be, becoming the only sound, the only presence, the only thing that exists in this darkness, in this softness, in this perfect dissolving. The rain sings, and you listen, not with effort, not with intention, just with the simple act of being here, of existing in the same space as this sound, this eternal falling, this gentle percussion that has no beginning and no end. Each drop arrives, strikes roof, strikes window, strikes the world, and vanishes into the greater sound, the collective voice, the chorus of water returning to earth, of sky emptying itself, of the endless cycle continuing without pause, without need for rest. Your breath matches its rhythm without trying. In, the sound rises, out, it falls, or perhaps it is the other way, perhaps there is no difference, perhaps breath and rain are the same thing, the same movement, the same surrender to what must be, what has always been, what will always be. You cannot tell where the sound is coming from anymore, it is not outside, not inside, not above or below, it simply is, everywhere and nowhere, part of the air, part of the darkness, part of your own body lying under quilts that press so gently down. The world softens into shadow. Everything that was solid has become suggestion, the walls, the ceiling, the bed beneath you, all of it fading, thinning, becoming transparent, until there is only you and the rain and the darkness that holds both, that makes both possible, that allows both to exist in this suspended space, this place between places. The last tension melts away. You did not know you were still holding anything, but now it releases, some final thread, some last connection to the waking world, and it flows out of you like water, like breath, like something that was never yours to keep, only yours to hold briefly, then release, then let go into the rain's keeping, into the darkness's care. Your body has no weight now, or all weight, you cannot tell which, perhaps you are sinking through the mattress, through layers of softness, through the floor, through the building itself, or perhaps you are floating, rising toward the sloped ceiling, toward the roof where rain drums its ancient song. It does not matter, sinking or floating, they are the same, both are letting go, both are surrender, both are the body finally understanding that it does not need to hold itself, that it can trust, that it is held by something larger, something that does not require effort, that simply is. The rain continues, steady, sure, patient, and you realize it has been singing this same song since the world began, will sing it until the world ends, unchanging, eternal, the first sound and the last sound, the sound that was here before you and will be here after. Each idea melts before it arrives. You try to form a thought, but it will not come, it dissolves at the edges, becomes mist, becomes nothing, and you do not mind, do not care, thinking seems like something from another life, from a world you no longer inhabit, from a version of yourself that no longer exists. Here, in the loft, under quilts, in darkness, in rain's embrace, there is no need for thoughts, no need for words, no need for anything but this listening, this breathing, this gentle, dissolving. Your breath hushing itself even more. Quieter now, almost imperceptible, just the faintest movement, air barely stirring, and soon, perhaps, it will fade completely, will become indistinguishable from silence, from stillness, from the vast quiet that waits beneath all sound, that holds all sound, that makes sound possible. The shop below holds its books, the cat sleeps on its cushion, the lamps glow their amber glow, and you are up here, above it all, removed, separate but connected, part of the building's dreaming, part of its nighttime life, part of its descent into the deepest rest. Nothing has a sharp edge anymore. Everything is soft, blurred, undefined, the boundaries between things erased, the distinctions meaningless. There is only presence, only sensation, only the feeling of being held by darkness, by quilts, by rain's voice, by something vast and kind that asks nothing, demands nothing, simply allows you to be, to rest, to fade. Time softens into nothing. No more minutes, no more hours, no more counting, no more measuring, only this eternal now, this moment that has always been happening, that will always be happening, where you float suspended, where past and future collapse into the single point of this breath, this heartbeat, this raindrop striking roof, this infinite present. The rain is inside you now, or you are inside the rain, the distinction has vanished, you have become the sound, have become the falling, have become the endless descent of water through darkness, returning home, returning to rest, returning to source. Your mind becomes feather light. Thoughts no longer even attempt to form, the mind is empty, clear, like glass, like air, like nothing at all, just awareness without content, just presence without form, just the simple fact of existing, barely, faintly, in this space where sleep and waking have merged, where consciousness has become so thin it is almost not there, almost transparent, almost gone. The quilts press down, the mattress holds up, and between these two pressures, these two gentlenesses, you are suspended, cradled, held in perfect balance, in perfect stillness, in perfect readiness to let go completely, to surrender the last small flame of awareness, to join the darkness, to become the darkness, to rest. Minutes melt into hours, hours melt into nothing. The rain sings its song, over and over, the same notes, the same rhythm, hypnotic, eternal, pulling you down through layers of consciousness, through veils of awareness, through the gossamer membrane that separates sleeping from waking, and you go willingly, gratefully, ready now, so ready, to let go, to fade, to dissolve completely into the soft darkness that waits, that welcomes. That says yes, rest now, rest here, rest always. Your breath is barely there, barely moving, barely disturbing the stillness, and soon, perhaps now, perhaps already, it fades into the rain's voice, becomes indistinguishable, becomes part of the eternal song, the endless falling, the perpetual returning. And you are fading too, dissolving, merging with the darkness, with the quilts, with the mattress, with the loft, with the building, with the rain, with everything, becoming nothing, becoming rest itself, becoming the soft space where consciousness goes when it finally, lets go. The rain whispers, softer now, or perhaps you are hearing it differently, from farther away, from deeper inside. Shadows soften around you, everything grows dim. The darkness is complete, total, but somehow there is still movement in it, still depth, layers upon layers of shadow, each one softer than the last, each one pulling you deeper, into rest. Your body loosens into the quilts. Every muscle, every fiber, releasing, surrendering, becoming soft, becoming nothing, the body forgetting itself, forgetting its boundaries, its name, its purpose. The weight that held you is dissolving now, not pressing anymore, just gone, as if you are made of air, of shadow, of the same darkness that surrounds you. Thoughts dissolve before they can form. Not even trying now, not even beginning, the mind is empty space, vast and quiet, like the loft, like the night, like the space between stars. The edges fade completely. You cannot find where you end, where the bed begins, where the quilts stop and you start, all of it merged, all of it one thing, one soft presence in darkness. Your breath hushing itself, quieter, quieter still. Barely there, barely moving, just the faintest whisper, the smallest exchange, and even that is fading, thinning, becoming transparent. The last tension melts away, flows out, disappears. Nothing left to hold, nothing left to do, nothing left but this softness, this darkness, this gentle dissolving into sleep. Time has no meaning here. No before, no after, no counting, no measuring, just the eternal now, stretching, expanding, becoming everything, becoming all there is. Words dissolve into soft darkness. Language itself is fading, becoming sounds without meaning, vibrations without form, and soon, very soon, even sounds will vanish, leaving only silence, only stillness, only rest. The rain continues somewhere, distant now, like a memory, like something from another world, barely reaching you, barely real. Your mind becomes featherlight, rising, floating, drifting up and away. So light now, no weight, no substance, just awareness, just presence, just the faintest knowing that you are, that you exist, that you are here, in darkness, in softness, in the space where sleep lives. Everything in you starts drifting down, sinking through the mattress, through the floor, through the building, through the earth itself, returning, going home, finding the place all things rest, the deep quiet, the vast stillness, the peaceful dark. The world softens into shadow, shadow softens into nothing. What was solid becomes liquid, what was liquid becomes air, what was air becomes thought, what was thought becomes dream, what was dream becomes sleep. Your body is barely there, a suggestion, a memory, a feeling without form. Arms gone, legs gone, chest rising and falling so gently you cannot tell if it moves at all, if you breathe at all, if you exist at all. Minutes melt into hours, hours melt into forever. No past, no future, only this dissolving, this gentle fading, this soft surrender to what has always been waiting, what has always been here, calling you home, calling you to rest. The quilts are part of you now, or you are part of them, no difference, no separation, just warmth, just weight, just the feeling of being held by something that loves you, that wants you to rest, that needs you to sleep. Each idea melts before it arrives. Consciousness is a candle flame, flickering, dimming, growing smaller, and smaller, until it is just a point, a spark, a tiny light in vast darkness, and then nothing has a sharp edge anymore, everything soft, everything blurred, everything dissolving into the same darkness, the same shadow, the same rest. The shop below is dreaming, the cat is dreaming, the books are dreaming, and you are joining them, adding your dreams to theirs, becoming part of the building's sleep, part of the night's deep breathing. Your breath barely moves now. In, out, or maybe not, maybe just stillness, maybe just the idea of breathing, the memory of it, the ghost of it, fading, fading. Shadows soften, thoughts dissolve, edges fade. Everything grows dim, dimmer, dimmest, until there is no light left, no awareness left, no you left, only darkness, only softness, only the gentle hold of sleep. Time softens into nothing. The last thread of waking consciousness, so thin now, so fragile, barely connecting you to the waking world, and it is stretching, thinning, ready to break, ready to release you completely. Your mind is featherlight, your body is shadow, your breath is silence. And somewhere in this fading, in this dissolving, in this beautiful letting go, you feel yourself approaching the edge, the threshold, the place where everything, finally, gently, softly, melts away. And once more, notice the feeling. The weight, that was once so solid in your hands, the book, the ledger. But now, it is changing. That weight is melting, drifting away, gone. It has dissolved into the night, leaving only lightness where it used to be. You are here, in the quiet loft, protected by the roof, held by the bed. The rain continues its song, softer now, more distant. It is a blanket of sound, covering everything, hushing everything. Notice how the edges fade, and your body loosens, sinking deeper into the warmth. There is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to carry. The last tension melts away, flowing out of your shoulders, out of your hands, disappearing into the dark. Your breath is slow, steady, hushing itself, as the world grows dim. The bookshop below is sleeping, the books are sleeping, the cat is sleeping. And you are joining them. You surrender to the cushioned quiet, letting the mattress hold you completely. Every muscle softens, every thought slows. Thoughts dissolve before they can form, drifting away like smoke in the rain. Your mind becomes featherlight, floating, unburdened. There is no effort here, only ease. Shadows soften around you, wrapping you in velvet. The darkness is not empty, it is full of rest, full of peace. You are safe here, entirely safe. Time softens into nothing, minutes melt into hours. There is no clock ticking, no schedule keeping. There is no before, and no after, only this moment, stretching. Now stretches into forever, a long, unbroken river of calm. You are drifting down that river, slowly, gently. Nothing has a sharp edge anymore, the room, the rain, the night, all blurring together. Words dissolve into soft darkness, losing their meaning, becoming just sound, just comfort. Each idea melts before it arrives, fading into the silence. You are just breathing, just being. The world softens into shadow, and your mind becomes featherlight. Everything settling, everything still. Deep, restful, quiet. Drifting, sinking. The rain. The dark. Your breath. Fading. Soft. Gone. Safe.